Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast. Quite a bit has happened, Keg, including loads of beer being produced in the background by that big noise.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. That's been a noise for the past hour in the tap room here. And as soon as I start speaking, must be Isak trying to shut us up. Is he in charge of that tap room over there? But we'll be out, will you, Alex? Do you know else? So there's been loads going on, obviously, in the past week or so since I've been on holiday. So welcome back. Thanks again for joining me. We've got all the latest. I've got a nice stand. I'm showing off today. Thought I'd get the arms out. Yeah, your arms out last time.
I did, I get the guns out.
Get my arms out with the nice sunny weather that we have. I'm wondering why that number isn't going up, of how many people are watching. Please do let me know in the comments. If you, oh, there we go. There it is. That took ages to finally. Delayed minute reaction on how many people are viewing the show. So that's good to see there is people watching and we are actually live. And thanks to people that are listening back once it's uploaded on all audio platforms. And big up to Anarchy Brewery for hosting us as per usual. If you remember, on the last podcast, we were doing a giveaway for War Beer. So we did give away 24 cans of the brand new design, the War Beer 2025-2026 edition, based on the 25-26 home kit. And I can reveal... exclusive reveal on this one, thanks to everyone that entered, that the winner is James Burke 1750.
Congratulations, James.
Congratulations, James. I hope you are 18 or over and can enjoy War Beer. So drop us an email, tmctv2019@gmail.com, or a message on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and we'll get back in touch with you and arrange that delivery for you. I'll also reply to your comment from the video 2 weeks ago as well. So if you don't get in touch, it'll be a rollover. We'll pass it on next week, but well done to James on that one. Anyhow, he's back. The players are back. Isak's back on his own. We'll get into that in a minute. There's loads to get into, people. We've got a list of topics as per usual. But as we're talking, more news is developing. We've got Nicolas Jackson even watching the show. Okay, he's in.
You coming, are you?
Newcastle's new number 9.
Nick.
We'll talk about that as well. But there's loads to get into. There's breaking news as we speak. And I've got a feeling there might even be more
all the time
throughout the live show. Because at the minute, Isak is at that training ground now. He's finally been allowed in.
Once everyone else left.
Once everyone's left, anyhow, exclude him. You allowed him to get in from 4 p.m. All the other players left around that time. So they are having talks right now, Howe and Isak. So who knows? Throughout this next hour, we might hear exactly what's going on behind the scenes there. We might get a little scoop on what's happening, what's being said, the future of Isak, what's Eddie Howe talking to him about? Is he saying, listen, son, hey, you're going to have to stay. We can't get Sesko. We can't get anyone. You're staying put. You're playing against Espanyol on Friday night. Get your boots. Or you might say, don't ever come back here again, you little scumbag. And we'll get your replacement eventually. And for now, go home. Get out of here. Bored. Big up to Rowan for the super chat. First one this evening. I must be honest. I'm looking for a new sport, if we saying Jackson. How can the club possibly think it's a good idea when Gonzalo Ramos is available? Thoughts on that one, Kate?
Yep. Good point. Yep. Nicolas Jackson wouldn't be my first choice. Second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth.
Wouldn't be
Gonzalo Ramos is a good shout now, to be fair. If Isak does eventually go, we're going to be left without any striker, really. So we're going to need a couple. Like, obviously, you'd want your number one guy and then a serviceable backup at least. At the very, very least, like, we're trying to get Ekatike to play with Isak, so we wanted 2 top strikers, not just like a top striker and a way ELD, like as a rotation kind of guy, like what Callum Wilson ended up being. Like, you want like 2 top quality strikers, and I think hopefully that was what the plan was with Sesko as well, having him and Isak, if that was to work out. But with Jackson, I'd take him as a serviceable number 2 if he was cheap. But Chelsea's going to hold ransom for about 60 million where no one will sign him. And to be honest, I don't really want him anyway. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he was available for 30, 35 million, we're desperate. We've got no second striker. I'd take a punt on him. But nah. Yeah, but as far as a number 2, if Isak does go, Gonzalo Ramos is a good replacement. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I like Ramos. I like him a lot more than Jackson.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm not feeling Jackson. We're going to get into all the alternatives and the potential replacements, but it's a good point from Rowan. Might just start watching more golf again, to be honest. And basketball, might start supporting Miami Heat instead of Newcastle United if we do sign Jackson and Isak leaves, and that's what's happening, because it just is absolutely awful, the idea of signing Jackson. But more on that Later on,
Mhm.
what we got? Any other super chats came in? Get them in to guarantee the chat read out. Big up to Jory, Nick there, who's a member. Good evening to you.
Oi, oi.
John McGinney,
McGinningham.
Scottish John, is linked to Newcastle in the past 45 minutes. Creator Group exclusive on this one is that Eddie Howe has him high up on his midfield hit lists. Obviously, we've lost Sean Longstaff, we've lost Eddie Anderson last summer. Yet to replace either of them. Willock is injured, as always. So a midfielder has to be a priority this summer, Keg. But McGinn is a name that has bounced out of nowhere.
Really has,
This afternoon. The 30-year-old Scottish international Aston Villa captain, 2 years left on his current deal with the Villains. Eddie Howe really likes him as a player, as a person. You know what I will say about McGinn is he is a fantastic leader. He does have vast experience in the Premier League and now also in the Champions League. But what do you make of that rumour for Newcastle United's midfield?
Out of the blue, I can't lie. Didn't really see this one coming. Well, I heard about a week or so ago that apparently we're not looking for another centre mid. Like it's not a priority. Which
Jacob said that as well.
Why? Yeah, clearly it is.
Yeah.
Like, as far as our starting three is concerned, like I wouldn't actually take anyone else in the Wills to replace the three that we've got now. But is with every other position with the Champions League campaign ahead of us, we need depth. As you've said, we've got rid of Longstaff. Willox isn't reliable, even at the back end of the season when he replaced Joe Linton through injury. He wasn't good enough. He's very injury prone. And I think he's just lost that spark, Joe Willock. So, yeah, I'm not even really that excited about him. So, outside of that, you've only got young Lewis Miley. Like, how is centre mid depth not an option?
I know.
Like, we desperately need another centre mid just for depth at the very least, because you cannot rely on the three midfielders playing 60 odd games next season. It's ridiculous. But from again, I can't see it happening. As you said, he's a leader. He's experienced, 30 years old, so he's not a dinosaur, but he's pushing. He's getting there. But yeah, he's been around the league for a long time. He's reliable. He's serviceable. He's one of them players that came up with them through the Championship. And you would have thought, like, Villa's came leaps and bounds since then. Like, you would have thought kind of like a Longstaff with, like, the progression and the development. You're going to be buying new players, and eventually you're going to be bled out. You're not going to become one of them more important players. And even through a few managers, they've had, Christ knows how many managers in the past few years, but John McGinn's always been able to get in that starting 11 and lead that team. So I think that just goes to show you just how quality and probably underrated he is. I'd go as far as to say he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, to be honest with you.
Yeah, good show.
So, yeah, I mean, is a squad depth option? I would like him, like, depending on the transfer value. I don't think that's been reported yet, but for a 30-year-old backup rotational player, I'm not paying a fortune, but I can't see it happening because he is a bit of a loyalist. Like, I think he is a fan favorite at Villa. I don't think they'll want to let him go. Like, you're not going to sell your captain cheaply. And yeah, I feel like he loves it. They love him. It's a bit of a marriage made in heaven, really. And it's like I don't think he would leave unless Villa got an offer and said, like, look, John, we've got this offer for you. I think it's good for you. It's good for us. Like, maybe we can agree to part ways, that kind of thing. But McGinn won't want to go, even to Newcastle. I think even if Liverpool or someone else came knocking, I think he'd stay out there.
Really?
I really do. Yeah, I think he's one of them boys. He's not Jack Grealish. He's not one of them. I don't think he'd up and leave at a better offer. So yeah, just this one just doesn't smell good to me. Like, it's just not one of them that I can see going through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence of, like, would Villa even sell to us as well?
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're fighting with us, aren't they? It's been a bit of
we're
a
in the same
top
kind of
six
level, aren't we? Yeah.
rivalry. You know, we just pipped them on the final day last year. Would they really sell their captain to us? Yeah. You know, if we're going for Ollie Watkins, would they really sell Watkins to us?
True, we're not going to get both of them.
You know, and it's one of them ones where, because of PSR and FFP, we know Villa do have to sell. They are in a bit of a perilous position there. They've had a really quiet summer, especially by their standards. They need to sell before they can buy. Newcastle will link with Jacob Ramsey from Aston Villa instead, another midfielder. That could be one that would be more realistic, I think. But with a 30-year-old as well, would McGinn rather stay at Villa and be their captain and play most weeks, or would he come to Newcastle? Would he come to Newcastle and sit on the bench? Because John McGinn's not getting in ahead of Tonali, Bruno, and Joe Linton.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
maybe Joe Linton.
Anyone else is going to be back
wants
up
to
in
change
this race.
things, but he's going to be back up.
Yeah.
Maybe there's that because he's over 30 now. He might think, well, I'll rotate and I'll jump in. I'll play Champions League now and again. Aye, close at home. Aye, right on the border for him. But yeah, it's a strange link. I would be more inclined for Ramsey, for Eddie Howe to work with him.
I'd rather get
and I think that one makes more sense for everyone.
Yeah. So I think Ramsey would be comfortable being that kind of like first off the bench option.
Aye.
Because you know he's not going to start. He doesn't even always start for Villa.
Aye.
But yeah, he's young and he can be developed and he will be that first off the bench. He's better than Willock. He's an upgrade on Longstaff. And you're going to get more like longevity out of him. So yeah, I think Jacob Ramsey's a really good option.
Yeah, West Ham are meant to be preparing like a 25-30 million bid for Jacob Ramsey. Match that. I might match that by this time next year.
I think McGinn would still be quite expensive. I think they would hold it. I think they'd hold about 25 million for him, even with 2 years left on his deal. 30-year-old.
I think it would be.
Down for the young. Why not?
I think it would be at least that. There's no way they're going to go, all right, I will let our captain go for
50 million or something.
50 million.
It's not going to happen. No,
not going to happen now. So are we really going to pay 30 million, say, for a 30-year-old? You know that Raduni's been linked from Coventry in that same article you're mentioning where Hope was saying it's not a priority. I think it was more a case of it's not a priority right now, and it isn't. That's why it's a bit out of the blue because, you know, we desperately need to sort out the Isak saga. We desperately need a centre-back. Yeah, we desperately need a centre-back. So there is more important things to focus on, really. But the McGinn link is the one that has definitely came out of the blue this afternoon. Thank you to the Kraken for this super chat. He's got 2 points. Numero uno. Picked up some language.
Oh, linguistics.
Say that one. That's number 1 in Spanish.
For viewers who didn't know.
For them aren't quite as clever and cultured as me. Why is Isak treating the fans in Newcastle like this? You want to answer point 1 first of all? I've said enough on Isak the past week. Really took off my holiday. Why do you reckon Isak is treating the fans in Newcastle like this? Because we all thought he got it. He loved the city. He loved the club. Was surprised to you that he just took off to Spain on a holiday as well? And
it really does. But for me, like I don't feel like it's intentional. I don't feel like he's purposely disrespecting Newcastle and the fans. Like, obviously, it's going to come across that way, and he's got to know that it will. Like, he can't be stupid. And like, he's probably seen the attraction from Liverpool and thought that's maybe is going to be good for my career. The money that they're going to give us is better. I'm probably going to be guaranteed more trophies and stuff than I am. Like, on paper, it is a much better and much more attractive offer going to Liverpool than staying at Newcastle. So I get that. But that's just the way to handle yourself, and he hasn't handled himself very well.
No.
So yeah, like I don't feel like it's been like an intentional disrespect, but it's only ever going to come across that way. So yeah, he's made himself look a dick, and all of his teammates as well. Like, I can't wait for him to get to training and Joe Linton and Big Dan Burn sticking the nut on him. He deserves it.
Is that why Eddie Howe didn't let him anywhere near them?
I think so. Yeah, that's probably got to be part of it, isn't it? It's like, we'll keep you away from Dan Burn and Joe Linton for another week. Even Trippier will probably be trying to bite his ankles.
It's true, like, you know, they're probably thinking, yeah, we kind of need the 140 million for him, like, so please don't wipe him out and do that though. Even if he deserves it.
Yeah.
Even if he deserves it, yeah.
Cripple him, send to Liverpool.
That'd be nice. Just didn't tell them. Pass the medical. And point number 2 from the Kraken: why is the hierarchy not coming out and being more transparent about everything, including stadium developments? Now, that is a very fair point, which has got many fans frustrated in the last couple of weeks. People talking about, you know, is PIF and the Saudi owners still that interested in Newcastle anymore? They're still showing the purpose and ambition for this project when we're yet to hear about the stadium still. We're not getting any sort of information about transfers or the summer or where's Darren Eales' replacement, where's Mitchell's replacement. It's a solid point, and it's a one that someone from the club desperately needs to come out and answer.
They do, yeah. And you're saying like links today that saying that Al Hilal's agreed a deal with Darwin Núñez. Like, what is that about? Like, literally like putting money into our rivals' pockets who's trying to sign our best player.
Yeah.
Like, you do just feel like, I think we were one of the first kind of big investments for PIF, but they've got other lines in the fire. Like, they own like the majority of the Saudi league. They've tried to put other like clubs. Like, did they not try and have a takeover? Was it Roma or someone else? Like, they try to like do like a few, but they try and do like the wrestling and the boxing and stuff in Saudi. They're bringing all kinds of stuff. Like they're like a kind of corporate machine now, where they're trying to like build themselves up as this big sporting giant and putting spectacles on all over the world.
Take an hour.
Yeah. So, like, with all of that, like, Newcastle's just kind of one of the projects.
Yeah.
It's just a project. Like, for us, it's the main one, and we should be thinking, you should be focused on us, buy us these players, do whatever that you can for Newcastle, and they just aren't really thinking like that, and it's really, really frustrating. But, like, you've got to think, like, well, are we just a toy to you? Like, we don't want you to just kind of think, like, oh, should we haven't signed anyone for Newcastle for 3 years. Should we go and, like, make a sign for them, make them look like we actually give a shit? When actually I'm trying to get Conor McGregor to fight fucking Floyd Mayweather or something. Like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they haven't been very transparent. That's one thing that they did say that they would do, because the transparency under the Ashley era was non-existent. And that's all that we ever wanted. We just wanted a little bit of communication from the club. They have been a little bit more transparent over the past 4 years.
When Amanda was, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's gone radio silence now. Like, just having some sort of answers in important times like this, like, it would be nice if anyone's watching. It'd be lovely just even a tweet, something like that. Just a little
statement,
just a little notification. There we go.
Yeah, something on the app, anything. Because you're right. I'm feeling like Woody out of Toy Story. Yeah, don't want to play with us anymore. Do you know what I mean? Forgotten toy. Buzz Lightyear's in now. Yeah, Buzz is in. Yeah, that Buzz is the boxing. Do you know what I mean? Piss take this. It is. My rant earlier was what I was saying about Nunez. You know, like, giving the money to Saudi, from Saudi to Liverpool, shall I say, to then help them buy Isak. Is like, could you actually write that anywhere else? Like, is that really happening? Like,
it's mental, isn't it?
It's truly, truly mental. It really is.
And if Liverpool do end up signing Isak because of this, like with Luis Diaz going as well, then yeah, like they've got to hold themselves accountable now.
Yeah,
like, they've got to come out and make a statement, because it's going to be like Andy Cole being sold. It's going to be like people turning up at the door and, like, knocking on the door and be like, yeah, we want answers. Yeah, like, we're going to have Eddie Howe on the doorstep, just trying to, like, explain himself. Like, it's not great.
It's not great. We'll get onto the one of the title in the video then, which was Isak being ordered to train alone today. It's unclear if he's actually even training in the latest update from Sky Sports that I was listening to on the way in the car. They just said that Isak turned up at 10 to 4, 10 minutes early. So he's obviously trying to make a good impression there, isn't he?
Good.
He was allowed to come in from 4 o'clock. He turned up at 10 to 4. Majority of the players who did train today and then had a family barbecue at the training ground had left or were leaving at that point. So Eddie Howe and the rest of the lads there, Tyndall on the barbie, getting the sausage on the can, getting the kebabs on the go for the boys and their partners and children. We're all there at the training ground having a nice little family fun day.
Playing Splat the Rat.
Splat the Rat, yeah.
Isak.
Apart from Isak, who wasn't there, wasn't invited until this afternoon to go in,
He's the rat.
Have talks with Eddie Howe. So, like we said earlier at the start of the show, those talks are ongoing now. So who knows, we might hear what's happening or what's come out of that while we're on air. But for now, Keg, what do you make of Eddie Howe's little power play, I guess? Telling Isak to come in on his terms, to come in at his time, that he's telling him to, and staying far away from the group.
Yeah, good. So you should.
No Barbie for you, Alex.
No, yeah, you don't deserve our sausages.
No, you don't. You like
our Geordie bangers.
Yeah,
you don't deserve the Geordie bangers.
You want some Scouse bangers now, don't you?
Scouse sausages.
Scouse sausages. We got the Geordie bangers.
Yeah, you are a Scouse sausage.
He is a Scouse sausage, eh? Rats.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right thing to do. Like, it happens in every other walk of life, every other sport, every other team. If a player's refusing to turn up or not going against, like, his contract, if you're just pissing off to Spain just to do some training by yourself or whatever, like, you're not complying, we're paying you 120 grand a week. Like, do you actually think you're going to train with our first team? It happens all the time, like fallouts, like David Beckham and stuff. Like, people would be made to train, like, with the kids. You know, you can't train with the under-23s this week if you can't. Like, people, like, there's a punishment for, like, not turning up on time, for leaving your wet towel in the showers, for swearing and things like that. Like, that is punishments, like, in football. It's well known. Like, can you remember when, was it Frank Lampard took over at Chelsea and they had all these fines and stuff?
Aye.
Like, these things happen. And for the disrespect that Isak's shown, if he thinks he's just going to walk in without any kind of fine, train him with the first team, you're mad.
Start eating Jason Tyndall's burgers.
It's just, it's got to be done. I wouldn't even necessarily call it a power play. It's just doing his job.
Yeah, true.
Like, just showing authority.
Do your job.
Yeah, literally, like, Eddie Howe's not doing anything wrong here. He's absolutely in the right. And yeah, like, I hope he's just come in to have, like, a bit of, like, a private word like away from the group. Like hopefully that's kind of more what it's about. Like he's gone for some training by himself today and some treatment on his thigh strain, while all the other lads have been having fun with their families and stuff. So yeah, hopefully Eddie Howe's had fun with his family and stuff. But then once everyone else has left, I hope they're getting down to business. I hope they've had a sit down and a serious chat that we'll get word of in the next day or two. Hopefully that's what it's about. Hopefully Eddie Howe and Tyndall didn't just piss off when everyone else left and just left him to train by himself running laps.
They've got to be sorting something
out. Hopefully they had a serious meeting that we'll get notification of in the next few hours. But I think Eddie Howe's absolutely within the right at the very, very least, and a fine should be on the way as well.
If you're Eddie Howe, Keg, because hear what you see here, and we'll talk about what we think will be getting said right now. If you're Howe, you're sitting down right now, like he probably is with Alexander Isak at the training ground, what approach are you taking? Are you taking the approach of bollocking him, keeping him out of the team, or are you trying to get him back? You know, you're obviously going to apologise and all that sort of stuff, Isak. Are you going to get him back involved in the group in the next few days? Or are you going to say, listen, at the minute, Alex, we haven't got a replacement. We've tried. Sesko, no. No. You're staying until we do get someone in, and you might even be playing in the Cellar Cup this weekend, or you definitely need to make sure you're ready for Villa next weekend if we haven't signed in any other striker in time.
Yeah. I think like the best approach is just to have that sit down with him and just ask him what's going on first. Like, what's going on in your head? What do you want to do? Why have you gone to Spain? Like, why are you saying that you want to leave? That kind of thing. Just try and get the answers out of him on the table so we can move forward from there. And then I'd be saying, like, what you've done isn't right. The way that you've conducted yourself isn't right. So we're going to punish you by X, Y, and Z. But I'll remind you that we don't want to sell you. Like, yes, we've tried to help you out by getting Ekatike in, by getting Sesko, by doing everything that we can. And we know that if we are to sell you, then we'll try and get a replacement. But yeah, we want you to stay. We'd love you to sign a new contract. But as of right now, we need you to like focus. Like, we've got a game next Saturday. The Premier League starts. If you're in the black and white, you're our best player. We need you fit. We need you to play. But that being said, like, yeah, he deserves every punishment that he gets, whether it's a fine, training with the under 23s, freeze on his pay for a couple of weeks. Like, it doesn't end here. It doesn't end with one conversation. Like, if things all go well and Isak's like, oh, I'm sorry, boss. Like, yeah, I got blinded by the lights of Liverpool, but I do want to continue playing for this club. Shake hands and be like, right, absolutely fine. But you're going to train with the under 23s for the next week. We're going to dock you 50% of your wages for the next week, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't go unpunishable. And then maybe next week we can integrate you back into the group. Like, after, if we feel your punishment's enough.
See where we're at maybe in a week's time. So this time next week, who knows what we could be talking about.
It doesn't go unpunished.
We could be saying Newcastle signing Watkins and Isak's now on his way to Liverpool, or we could be in the same boat. Or we've had more rejections, and where we're saying we're 3 days away from the league starting. Isak's going to be playing.
I can say to him, like, look, like, we'll get you one to leave. We'll try and get you a replacement in first. If we can't get you one in, then you're staying. Simple as. You've got 3 years left on your deal.
Yeah.
We're under absolutely no obligation to sell you. You are our player. So, and everyone, all the like free Isak stuff, like, it doesn't work like that, mate. Like, he's our player.
All right, neighbour. There's a hashtag going around. Free Isak. So I tell you what, we'll just let him go. Don't you want the money? Don't need a replacement. Just let him go.
It doesn't matter. I will just have a Sula play fucking 69 games next season. No worries.
I'll just have a Sula leading the line against fucking Napoli. That'll be absolutely sound in the Champions League, that one. Like, my days. But we'll wait and see what happens with Alexander Isak. There's so many ways this could go. Okay, do you think we are just going to leave him on the sidelines for a bit, then he's not going to have any involvement in the 2 games this weekend? Obviously, one of them, because normally you'd have different team for each game.
Yeah.
But guess what? Asula will probably play both of them because we haven't got
literally.
Or
Same
actually,
as Asia.
What we did against Spurs, Gordon could play on the middle line, and then Asula. But oh man, we need to see what comes out from this meeting that's going on right now. Because do you think Isak's sitting there thinking, I've took this too far, because he has, because with the Sesko deal failing, and all the other things that haven't fell into place this summer. We've got no option at the minute, even if we really don't want him around the place, which kind of sounds right because he hasn't been allowed to come in all day. Yeah, we've got no choice and he's got no choice because at the minute we can't afford to let him go. We literally are stuck in limbo. We can't afford to let him go. We can't get anyone in. We'll talk about the names that are going to be targeted next after the Sesko looks like he's chose Manchester United. It's a royal mess, like, in it.
Yeah, it's an absolute shambles. Like, this was meant to be the best summer of our lives.
Yeah.
Like, after winning the cup, qualifying for the Champions League, like with all the FFP stuff and PSR, like, we've complied. Like, we haven't spent a penny on a first team signing in like 3 years or 2 years, like 3-4 windows. Like, yeah, with like the Adidas deal and all this kind of stuff, like, we were meant to have a massive bag to go and throw at this transfer window and completely rejuvenate our squad, ready for a Champions League campaign. This was meant to be the summer of all summers for Newcastle fans.
Yeah, it was.
It's turned out to be one of the worst. It's
Literally?
an absolute tragic. I cannot wait for the window to close.
Me too.
It's been an absolute disaster.
It has been a disaster, like, it really has, because I think there was an expectation going into this window as well, because of what we were hearing from Eddie Howe in the club. I was saying we're going to move fast, got the targets, no PSR problems. Not like the last couple of windows where we couldn't do this deal, couldn't get that one signed. You know, had to get Kelly on a free. Now we've sold the likes of Kelly, Miggy, Longstaff, Wilson, Dubravka. We'll talk about in a minute. All these players are off the books now. Wages are free. And a few million picked up here and there. So more than a few million, to be fair. 15 off Longstaff, 12, 15, 20, 25 off Kelly. So there's money that's came in, and yet we still haven't made the incomings. Yes, Alanga's came in. Ramsdale on loan. I'll ask you about that in a minute, actually, because I haven't seen you since that deal went over the line. He's been pictured training with his new teammates today. But the transform of some of the things been an absolute disaster because it hasn't happened yet. And there's still, 3 weeks left, 27 days, something like that. Are you confident that we can actually turn this around and salvage the summer window?
No. It's going to end up desperation.
Yeah,
like it was last year, where we chased Gahey all summer long as my number one target, and then at the 11th hour put that desperate bid in for Alanga. That's what it's going to be. We're going to chase some more targets, which is going to take up another 2 or 3 weeks. Then before you know it, there's going to be days left, and then we're still about 3 signings short. It's just going to reek of desperation them last few hours. It's going to be absolutely rotten.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Literally.
Dominic on deadline day.
Deadline Dominic.
I'm quitting me like that. Honestly, if we get Jackson or Calvert-Lewin, I'm going to support fucking Newcastle Blue Star. I've had enough. Blue Star, Gateshead, North Shields, you name it. I'm going to them games instead. I guess because it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be horrible
if we can't get the signings in and improve that depth. With Champions League as well, it's a big ask. Do you know what I mean? It was a big summer this, and it's been a big flop so far.
Yeah, it has.
Going to get into a couple of super chats in a minute just to round up on Alexander Isak. Would you, and you're going to celebrate him if he scores, because obviously you're going to be supporting Newcastle. So if he scores, you're still going to be, no one's going to sit there quiet if he scores a 30-yard screamer. Like he did against Liverpool last year in the Prem. But are you going to have that same feeling towards him now, or have you changed your mind on him? Like, can you see a way back for him? Would you accept him in a Newcastle shirt and cheer him on?
He's in a massive, massive hole that's going to take a lot of digging out. But I feel like as a fan base, we've got to get behind him again eventually. And I say it's going to take a long process. He's got some serious bum licking to do. He's got to go and lick some bums of 52,000 fans. It's in James Park. It's going to be a lot of bum licking. It's going to take a long time to get through all the bums. But like, if he stays, like, we've got to get behind him. Like, first couple of games, give him stick, boo him, shout at him, whatever. Fair enough. But then let it go. If the transfer window closes and he's here, get behind your boy, especially if he signs a new contract. If he commits his future, then the past is the past and we'll kind of let it go. And he's going to have the season of his career. He's going to have every miss is going to get speculated. Every miss is going to get booed.
Every little body language, every little sprint that doesn't
Every time
happen.
he doesn't chase the ball down, every miss that he has, unless he's scoring at least a goal a game, he's going to be in for some pelters. So he needs to be perfect for him to get right back on our side quickly.
I think it's a really impossible job for him because unless he did come in and started scoring every week.
Yeah, you're banging a hat trick in week out, then fair enough.
Then everyone's going to be, all right, sound, thanks. Cheers for the 3 points.
Yeah, it's a big ask.
But that's not going to happen. And, people are going to turn very quickly. And I just can't see a way back. Obviously, it's going to have to be that way if, we don't get the replacement in, which is very, very possible now with the time running out in the window. But with Isak there, I think people will be so quick to jump on his back, so quick to say, look at him, he's not trying. We know he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to leave. You can see, look, he's not even sprinting. He's putting them wide. He's missing on purpose.
Yeah, that's that grave that he's dug for himself, yeah.
He's made life way harder than it had to be. Right, let's get into some of your super chats now then. I'm going to start off with Chris there. What a generous man on this fine Wednesday evening. He's gifted 5 Magpie Channel TV memberships. So what a lovely touch that is from Chris. Well done, mate. That's very kind of you. So I'm not even sure how that works, to be honest, on YouTube.
It's the first time I've seen it.
who that goes to is the next 5 people that try and join. You can give it a go. Click join. It might let you. Chris has gifted 5 memberships there. First person to ever do that on this channel, to be fair, Chris. Nice one, Chris. Very, very sound of you, that. Shane with a super chat earlier on. Matty, we cannot get Jackson. Bring back Mandy. We cannot get Jackson, no. I'm absolutely dreading the thought of him in a black and white shirt, to be honest. And Michael backs up the point here, saying bring back Amanda. So Michael and Shane there, okay, saying bring back Mandy.
Yeah, it's got the job done.
A lot of this has been going around online the last couple of weeks because of that communication and the lack of getting deals over the line, simply. Yeah. You've seen in the documentary, she was
with Anthony Gordon,
pivotal on that deal, and
worked hard.
It's now the case that, well, who is making these phone calls? Who is trying to convince the players to come to the club? Because whoever it is isn't doing a very good job of it, if we're being honest.
No, yeah, they're not. Yeah, like Mandy grafted. At the minute, like it looks like Eddie Howe's meant to be at the forefront, but it's difficult to kind of manage the team as well, especially when you're away, like when you're out of the country, like when you're in Asia. You don't really know what's going on at home, and like you're relying on people that is here to communicate. So yeah, it's a hard job. Like we need someone like Amanda and Murdad who you've seen in the documentary grafted their ass off. Like they wanted the absolute best for this club, and they rarely rested until they got it. Like they were very unsatisfied if they kind of didn't get the deals that they wanted to get done. Like they were very frustrated and things like that. And you just feel like we haven't had that. Like it feels like Mitchell was here just doing whatever.
What was he getting paid?
He was basically on garden and leaving now.
Getting paid on the stock.
All our sporting directors just cut up hedges on the weekends, like whether they're employed or not. Like Ashworth just doing his job, like Mitchell just doing whatever he wants to do. Like it's just a waste of time. Like Staveley got the job done, and yeah, she was mint. So yeah, we do miss her, and you can see like people that have left, like obviously now could be done about Darren Eales and his illness, and we're trying to look for his eventual replacement, but. Yeah, with Ashworth and Mitchell, it's been a shambles.
It has been a massive shambles. Like, so if you could get Amanda back in Newcastle, are you saying you would do that?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you take her back, get her back in. I mean, at this point, I think I would, because I tell you what, transfer windows under Staveley were a lot better than they are right now without her and Gudusi. And Jamie Rubin was meant to have flown out to try and get that Sesko deal done. Later on, there was PIF representatives, but that's the first time in the deal so far this window that's happened. Before that, it's like Andy Howe and Nixon trying to get things done, and it's just a bit of a mess, because when you look at how Chelsea or these other teams are doing negotiations, there's a whole team of them working around the clock, and we've got Eddie Howe's nephew and our chief scout Steve Nixon trying to get it done, and then Eddie maybe jumping in now and again on bloody Zoom calls and that. It's just mad how we're in this position. When we go back to what we're saying about such a big summer and important summer, just to be leading the line this year, a small transfer committee like that, it's just shooting ourselves in the foot, man.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Shooting ourselves in the foot, big style. Jake, young guns needed, i.e. Voltamade and the likes. He's meant to be going to Bayern Munich, isn't he?
But ages ago, like after the under-21s, or on 23s, whatever age group it was, like after the Euros, like he was meant to be getting done to Bayern, but he never did.
No, still not happening.
I don't know why now. So yeah, I've heard that link. To be fair, like I've seen that he's available for other clubs to scout him up. But yeah, I don't know what happened with that Bayern deal, because it seemed like it was like done deal, like seal delivered, but hasn't been. So yeah, he'd be a good option. Like young lad, can score goals, big, tall, physical.
I think it'd be a great option. Yeah, that's an exciting one, isn't it? And that's someone that Eddie Howe could work with. It's kind of
he's not going to be a main man yet. No, he's one of them future ones. But yeah,
if you bring in Wissa though.
Yeah,
and then Wissa's Premier League proven. Chill out. Walter, take your time, learn your craft. Eddie Howe will improve you. It's kind of that young ilk, which I guess is Jake's referring to. Get the young guns in. It's true. It's work with these players, bring them in. Eddie Howe and the coach staff will improve them, and in a couple of years' time, he could be that Isak. He could be that Sesko kind of level of player, you'd hope.
Yeah, that's what you want. Like that's how like you build your future. Like getting like early 20s kids in, like from late teens, early 20s. They're the ones that you want to be looking at. Like not these like 28, 29, 30-year-olds that we've been linked with. Like there's not really much future in them. Short term, all right. Like if you're experienced, Premier League proven, fair enough. Like John McGinn's, people like that. Like it's fine. But you just know it's not like a long-term thing, like 3 years max, really. That's all you're really going to get. But like Isak and all the other ones who have signed, you can rattle them off, like your Botmans, Tinos, Halls, Gordons, all of these lads. Like Isak was one of them. Ultimately, you want to get about 10 years use out of them. If they do end up becoming world-class, then you have this massive head-scratching problem that we've got now. Do you sell them for 150 million? It's not a bad position to be in, having someone so good that teams are willing to splash mad money for. So it's a good dilemma to have. Like it's better than them just being shit. But like that, like this is how it works. So you
flopping,
you either get 10 good years out of them, and then you can maybe sell them for whatever when they're like 32, 33 years old. Or they become world class at 25, 26, like Isak is, and you can sell them for big money, which helps the club in the long term as well. So it's a win-win, really.
It is.
That's why you want these older ones. Because if, say, we've got Wissa, you get 3 years out of him, how much do you sell them for?
No, you're not going to get now. For
Exactly.
10, 15. Yeah. The point being there is that it is fine, like you said. You signed a ultimate, or you do what we do with Isak, you improve him, and then you more than double your money in a few years' time. That's how football works. Listen, every club does it. Every club's had to do it. Your Brighton's a great example of how they function. But even on a other scale, Man City, selling Cole Palmer, things like that. The big clubs do it. But the problem is where it isn't fine is in Newcastle's position this summer, where they haven't planned for it. You get the replacement in. You sort out the start of the window. You find out who's where, what's happening. Is Isak happy? Is he going to stay? And then you go from there. So say in a hypothetical situation, we sign Voltamade, and in 4 years' time, you make sure at the start of every pre-season, are you happy here? Because you know that such and such may come in for you this summer. Do you want to leave? Are you thinking about it? Are you fully committed? If he turns around and goes, actually, I wouldn't mind going to Man City, to be fair. Horn's left now. To me, so, right, sound. Well, I'll tell you what, you sit there for a few weeks because we're going to go and sign such and such to replace you. Once that's done, you can go on, and we'll take the 150 million for you. That's how you do it. Instead of being in a absolutely mental mess that we are in right now with Isak, if you have shit in order, then it's fine. And you can make the profits, and you do sell the young players on, and you do trade, and football is a business. And that's how transfers work. But right now, we've just absolutely shafted ourselves with the Isak situation. But good point on maybe going for the young guns, because what I was going to get onto, and that's Robson's super chat, is are we in the right market? Because he's saying there we're competing in the wrong player market. So instead of going for a Sesko, an Ekitike, who your Liverpools and your Man Uniteds are in for or after, should we not be looking for a Voltamade that I've just mentioned? Or should we be looking for Victor Boniface, as he's talking about there, for 60 million? Are we trying to sign players that the so-called elite clubs are going for, and we can't offer the same wages, we can't offer the same appeal?
Yes and no for me. So I feel like we're ambitious and we want to be going after these top players. Like Isak was a top quality name before he came to us. So was Tonali. Like we've signed some big name players. So I feel like we're going for people that are just an example of our ambition. Like, I don't think we're overselling ourselves by going for these players. It's not like, these players are taking a risk coming to Newcastle. Like 5-6 years ago, either way, but not anymore. So yeah, like I feel like we're kind of getting done, because I feel like it's like that Mr. Bean meme where people copying his homework. Like I feel like we're doing all the graft. We're going in for these players, and teams like with bigger names like your Liverpools, Man Uniteds, your Chelseas are looking at that going, oh, Newcastle put a bid in for them. Oh, how much is that? Like, oh, am I getting in on that? Like,
it literally is happening.
So I feel like that's the problem. Like, we're identifying top targets, and people are just fucking copying my homework. Like we're not picking the wrong players, because the same would happen. Boniface, Voldemade, same thing would happen.
Exactly the same.
If we put a bid in, Chelsea would be like, oh, how much is there? How is he? You know what I mean? Like,
Newcastle in talks of saying that next pretty closer. That next German legend, going to get in for 30 million. I tell you what,
I think that's the problem, that we're not one of these big six clubs, and as soon as someone else comes in, they might just be a little bit more attractive on the surface. So that's the problem. We're not seen as this big six club, and we're not offering mad wages.
Because the Seskos of this world and that, you know, they grew up watching Man United. I mean, he's quite young now, was he? 22. So say 10 years ago, he just about got the, not even that to be fair, but his
dad told him all about Fergie.
His dad's talking about Fergie. His dad gave him a bit of a tough shirt, you know what I mean? He's watched the Premier League years. He loves it. These are the sort of things where maybe Newcastle need to keep doing what we've done so far. Find a Bruno, find a Botman.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a few years' time, when these sort of players are older and we're in the Champions League every year, then they might look and go, I like Newcastle. I remember watching them 8 years ago when they won the Carabao Cup or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where we might need to get to. We might be more patient with, to be fair. But I've seen this talk a lot, and it's been all over, you know, like Talk Sport and other media outlets that Newcastle are trying to shop in a bigger market than they can afford, basically, which there is some truth in that because we can't match the wages that Man United offer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm with you. I'm like, I think there's a bit of truth in both. I think, yes, maybe should we be going for Mbeumo when, you know, we did hold face-to-face talks with him and we couldn't offer the same wages as Man United, so he's went there. Or we stretching the limit too far, and should we be going for lesser names or younger players? I don't know. There's a bit of truth in it, but after a Champions League qualifying season, you'd think we would be able to go in and get an Mbeumo. You know,
that's why I feel like we're not overshooting ourselves yet. Like,
it's not like we've tried to sign Rodrigo from Real Madrid.
Who's available? That big. I haven't like knocked on the door for Mbappe or not. That's like, is he available? Is he
crazy? We're trying to sign Doué from PSG out. You know what I mean?
Like with Ekatike, we've been after him for years.
No,
like we put bids in for him 3 years ago when he was like 18. Like, it's not like we've just kind of identified him and he's become this star and he was too good for it. Like, it's not that case at all. Like, we were in here first. So yeah, like I don't really. Yeah, like I said, I think both things can be true. Like,
I think so.
Yeah,
I think Robson makes a good point, and it is true. And maybe a Boniface or something like that would be better than a Sesko, who Arsenal tried to sign this summer. So they knew the demands were going to be big. That's why they moved on to Gyökeres, who Man United have identified, and then we pushed them to do it because we were making big bids. So there is some truth in it from Robson, to be fair, but it's a difficult one to assess really about exactly what is happening and what we could go for instead. But there's a fine line, really, to be honest with you, right now between what Newcastle should and shouldn't be going for and how much they're wasting the bloody time. Super chat from G. You offered big wages to Sesko and Boom on 150k, not 250k. I keep saying the thing about Mbeumo being on 150k, but that cannot be true. It's all from Man United fans, and when you Google it, it does say
I've seen loads. I've seen 300, 350. I don't actually know what the hell he's on, but yeah, it's a lot more than we would be willing to pay for him. Like,
it is.
I think 150 would be max.
Exactly.
Because that would put him as our second highest earner. I think Gordon's on that. They're 10 grand behind Bruno's were highest.
Yeah.
So he'd be up there as well, second, third highest earner at the club.
Exactly.
I don't think we would. Yeah, like, would we give him anything like that? Any more than that? Nah.
Even if G's right here and, you know, I'm a little dig, he's only on 150k. As just said, that's massive at Newcastle.
Yeah, it is.
It's nothing at Man United because you've got Rashford picking up 350 a week. You know, you've got Rashford and Sancho picking up 300 grand a week, 350 grand a week. It's nothing.
And Johnny Evans is
probably on Newcastle. And Mbeumo would come in, if we could even get the 150k, he'd be making more than Isak straight away.
Yeah.
He already wants to walk away. Imagine his reaction. Have you heard that?
Banging straight on the door. What's going on here?
If you gone further away than Spain on holiday, I'll tell you that. If you got the bloody Maldives not come back, have you heard someone saying that he's on more money than him? No chance. Next one.
Rolling
KK Chia. SGD. Don't know what currency that is, do you? Singapore dollars, something like that?
We're going with that.
Big up though. As of now, we cannot find the Isak replacement. We have to keep him and find another Ekatike who can play alongside or who can replace him next summer.
Yeah,
this is what I was mentioning in the video this morning, where, you know, I like Gonzalo Ramos, but is he ready to come in and be the 9?
Yeah.
You'd rather, in an ideal world, of course, have him here for a year, learn off Isak, and then let Isak go next year, have that release clause in. So I think they're saying there that would be perfect. Do you think that's right then? Can it find his replacement, keep him, and you know, we know that Wissa's still meant to be coming in. Would you go for that Voltamade or Ramos and say, listen, Alex, your replacement for next year's here, but he's not ready yet. So you're going to have to stay for now.
Yeah, I feel like that's because hands are a little bit tied. I feel like that's the only way we really can go now because Sellingham's idiotic, especially if we haven't already got that, not even necessarily replacement, but another striker. Because as we've said, we need two. It's not as if we're just looking for Isak's replacement. Like we need another one. We need like a second one, like a Wilson replacement. Like we're crying out for two strikers here if Isak leaves. But if he doesn't, that would save us a lot of time, effort, and stress. If he can stay, we'll get in a top quality replacement / like future replacement, and then that kind of eases pressure next year that we can kind of sign a number two. And yeah, that just makes things a little bit easier. So that's the best thing that we really can do right now. Like we can say to Isak, we need you to stay. We haven't got a direct replacement for you, so we need you to stay. We'll maybe have a look at you can go next summer, even next summer. Like we can maybe even accept a little bit less because he'll only have 2 years left on his deal, whereas at the minute he's got 3. So that 110 million that Liverpool offered might be a bit more attractive in a year's time. Like now we're saying that we wouldn't accept anything less than 150. Liverpool said that they would pay 120, but then came in with 110. Like that 110, 120 area probably looks better next year. If now we know 12 months in advance that he wants to leave, that gives us 12 months to replace him. And you can accept a little bit less, like with it not kind of being sprung onward, like last minute, like mid-transfer window. Like it's just a not ideal situation for us right now. So I'd let him go for 110 next year if that gives him 12. If he's got 12 months to work with, say, Voldemide, for example, and then next summer we can go and get another striker, whether it be the number 10 to back up Voldemide or another one to help kind of like working like a tandem, something like that. Like it's the only thing that we've got going for right now. Like we cannot really do much else.
No, you're right. We can't now. I know it's the timeline for me that is worrying. You know, the fact that we'll play Aston Villa next weekend, the fact that the transfer window is closing in 3 weeks or so. It's just such a really difficult position to be in now because, as we've mentioned before, we can't sell Isak tomorrow for 120, 130 million because then no one's going to let us do any business.
No.
Because everyone's price is just going to go through the roof.
Everyone's going to know we've got that money.
You're absolutely fucked.
You need to get someone in first before we let them go.
So we need to get someone in first, and we tried to do that with Sesko, rejected like everyone else this summer. We're going to finally get on to other options in a second, but thank you so much for everyone who sent a super chat, and this is the latest one. Anthony Wright, are you happy to keep Isak and sign Wissa, a centre mid and a centre back? Absolutely.
Oh, well, not me.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been the perfect window.
Literally would, with a Langer and a goalkeeper as well. Perfect window.
Perfect window, except we've got an unhappy Isak, I guess, is the question from Anthony. Are you happy to keep him when he's unhappy? Which is no, because for me, once a player said that he wants to leave, let him leave. Don't want him here. He doesn't want to be here. See you later. But at the minute, as I've said, we can't get a replacement in. Can't do it. So.
And Liverpool haven't given away an acceptable offer yet either.
Oh no, it's not like we're turning down 150 and keeping Isak hostage. The whole free Isak stuff. Maybe put a good offer in, then we'll see if we can be free. That's the
come by, man.
Come by, man. Come put a respectful offer in. You're offering less than what you paid for Vids. No way. It's the best striker in the world. If you want him that much, put your money where your mouth is.
It's like going to try and buy a 20 grand car, only offering 15, and you'd be like, oh, I'll release the car, man, will you?
Free Mercedes. No, that's a Honda. But with Liverpool, maybe they're waiting for that Darwin money to come in, and then they will try and test the fate. But again, you know, time is.
It's going to be a long negotiation because I can see Liverpool coming in with 120, and we'd be like, we want 150.
Yeah, like no.
It's going to be a long drawn out saga. This until deadline day. I think it's not going to have any quick conclusion.
Imagine how stinky deadlines day are going to be if this sort of stuff start happening. Andy Carroll special, Andy Carroll 2.0, helicopters, helicopter. But yeah, I would be happy in a way. Like I said earlier, I don't really want Isak. I can't really back him that much anymore, which I'm gutted about. But I mean, even the second part of that, sign Wissa, a centre mid and a centre back.
Perfect.
We're desperate for all three positions. Absolutely desperate. Right. So, on Wissa, let's talk about that guy because he is on strike, so he's doing an Isak, so that's not ideal.
It's not,
that's what everyone says to me. Great. Oh, you don't like Isak, but you're cheering Wissa on to do it because you want him to come to Newcastle.
I'm not cheering it on.
I'm not condoning it. Yeah. Not like, well done, mate. Keep going on strike, kicking up the fuss. But Brentford have made a U-turn. They're allowing him to leave once they get a replacement, and it's pretty much identical story, to be honest. But Brentford, today again on Sky, they were saying that deal could even happen over the weekend or, up until the weekend. I mean, how nice would it be to actually get a signing and see him play on Saturday, maybe against Atletico Madrid? That would be lovely to see a new face. I've already seen Elanga at Celtic. Might see Ramsdale, but someone we could, get excited about, especially would be a Wissa. Free Wissa, says Trevor there. Exactly, free Wissa. Hashtag free Wissa. Free him up. Are you confident that Wissa will get over the line? Wilson's replacement?
I'm not confident in any transfer ever.
He's scarred from the window.
Until the day I die, until I see him motherfucker standing outside with a black and white shirt, I'm not confident in anything anymore. PTSD. I don't know. Genuinely, I'm not confident in anything right now. The one thing that I will say on this situation is how it's very similar to Isak, but also very different in the sense that not just the age, but he's got 1 year left on his deal.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, when you look at that, is he 28, coming up 29?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So he's a 28, almost 29-year-old striker with 1 year left on his deal. And I feel like what we've offered is already slightly over the odds. So in Brentford's case, I really, really do get it that they don't want to sell him because they've already lost their best player, their captain, their goalkeeper, and the head coach in the same window.
It's not been great.
So you don't want to lose Wissa, who is now technically their best player. So I get it wholeheartedly. But he's on strike. He's not turning up to training. He's said that he wants to leave, and he's got 1 year left on his deal. That's playing a bit too hardball.
Yeah. We're more
if Isak was on 1 year left on his deal, then I'd say, well, get out of him, really.
Be away.
Just if we've got, like I say, it's about £40 million bid. I think that's over the odds for him, even if he had 3 years left on his deal, to be honest with you. Or it's about right, given his goal contributions last year. It's a fine figure. The fact that Brentford are rejecting this with 1 year left on his deal and given his age, I feel like they're being a little bit silly because you're going to keep him, for another year where he's going to be unhappy and then you lose him for free next season.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different situation. So if they're now finally kind of coming to their senses, knowing fine well that he wants to leave, he said that he's not coming up to training. He's only got that 1 year left on his deal. They're going to get about a £40 million offer. They've got to look at that and think, but we don't want him to go, but we're kind of going to have to now. Like, I feel it's like our hands are tied now. Like, we're going to have to get it done. What's come to me now?
Man United contact Brighton for Carlos Baleba, the midfielder that would really solve their problems. To be fair, he'd be a great signing. Brighton do not plan to sell this summer. All sides aware move may be unrealistic, but Man U keen and should know in the coming days if close or not. That's from The Athletic. Where the hell are Man United getting all their money from?
All them massive sales that they've signed.
Jimmy Ratcliffe was saying they're going to be bust by Christmas. They can't afford anyone. They're sacking the dinner ladies. You can't bring... you have to bring your Sonnies to work now. We can't afford to give you a meal deal anymore. Everyone's absolutely skint. If they sign Sesko, which is looking very likely, that means they would have spent 215 million this summer already on 3 players. If they sign Baleba, there's talk that would be 60, 70, 80 million.
Really? Shit.
So that would be worth 300 million on 4 players, and they still want a goalkeeper. They still want a couple of other players.
They need a goalkeeper.
So how do they get away with this sort of stuff, man? It does my head. I know they've got big revenue streams and everything, but they've been in the mud and debt for years.
All they've got this summer is, I believe, they're getting about £8 million off us for Elanga.
Aye.
And they've freed up about 350 grand a week wages, loaning Rashford to Barcelona, who's going to pay 100% of his wages. That's it. They haven't done anything else in terms of outgoings this summer. So I think, where has that revenue came from? Like, they can't sell players because no one wants them.
We're getting big major developments here, actually, Keg, as we might have expected on the show. So Isak has left the building. He's like Elvis. He's out the training ground now. So obviously we don't know what's been said yet between the two. Maybe we'll hear from the club or maybe an insider soon on that one. But it is very interesting timing that this is coming out now regarding Liverpool, who are set to proceed with an offer to Paris Saint-Germain for Barcola. The Reds are very determined to transfer their interest and it were bid during recent talks. Deal will be more than 100 million euros. Isak's situation explains Liverpool's new strategy. Real impact, more to follow. That one is from Sasha Tovilleri, who's a journalist there, 200,000 followers, followed by Ornstein, all that. So Liverpool,
Mad.
are they moving on? Is Isak staying? Could they be getting Barcola this year? Isak stays, and then they go in for Isak next year, but they're getting the French reunion there. Barcola was linked to Newcastle, where we're trying to ambitiously chase him. You know, he doesn't quite get a starting berth at PSG. So Liverpool now, Keg, breaking news, expected to go in with a big offer of over 100 million euros for Barcola from PSG. Is that an indication then that the talks today between Howe and Isak is looking like he's going to have to stay for a year? Liverpool are moving on to another target.
If they think they're going to get both of them,
surely not.
They cannot do that. Surely not.
What world are we living in here? If they get what Barcola, Isak,
if they make almost 100 million pound plus signings, like I say almost because Ekitike was just under.
Aye.
But with Barcola, Isak, and Wirtz all being over 100, Isak, Ekitike being nearly, plus a couple of others, nah, just let me out. Like I'm getting off.
I'm getting off. If they can spend, like you say,
Liverpool fans will be getting off.
$500 million on a few players, and we cannot spend anything, basically anything. Getting Ramsey on loan. Oh my God! So there's some very interesting update there for you. Let us know what you think about it in the chat. Barcola to Liverpool. Lots of other people talking about it there now. Came from that Sasha, but other people jumping on it now. Talk of Liverpool going in for Barcola after Isak has just left Newcastle's training ground following talks with Eddie Howe. Very interesting. Very interesting. Wait and see that. I think we had a couple of super chats coming where we're talking. Made some good points about Wissa. We'll jump back into that in a minute. Tapwata. Good super.
Tapwata.
Good name, that. Tapwata.
I like a bit of Tapwata.
Going for same players at top clubs is a very poor strategy. We need to know our current place in the market. We'd have players in by now if we did. It's true. Obviously, you know, we are competing there. But again, I think, you know, was Delap too adventurous? Was
I don't think so at all, no.
Pedro, you know,
these relegated striker from Ipswich. That's not. I wouldn't
should
really
be going in for that.
Adventurous. But to the point I was making before, like I feel like we bid first. Like we've identified all these targets. It's other teams coming in swooping up our targets, copying our homework.
Which will happen now for Malik Chow.
Yeah.
Now, we'll talk about in a second. No doubt someone's watching that and think, oh, is he available at AC Milan centre back? I see Newcastle are interested. Tell you what.
Let's just not talk about any more transfers until the window closes.
Right. Keith Romano.
Shut up, man, will you?
Stop reporting on Newcastle United because it's left we're in the absolute shitter. Oh, dear. Stop doing your job, all right? That's all we're asking.
Don't do your job.
Don't do your job. Canny Scott's been a member for 33 minutes. What an absolute legend.
Lovely.
It's got to be some sort of a record. It's a long one, that one. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. I think you've probably won a giveaway in that time, Charlie. I'm sure you have. But I've seen Scott around the ground a couple of times before, so nice one, mate. Hope to bump into you again in the new season.
Get something sorted for you if you haven't.
Tino, no transfers in several windows. It's hurting us now. It certainly is. Been a few years now, a few windows without much going on, eh?
Right.
Very disappointing.
From Alanga and Odysseas Bakadimos, then it's been a really good few transfer windows.
Yeah, absolutely awful, really. But we've got John McGinn coming in and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so I don't know what people are whinging for.
Just what you want, man.
Right. Onwards to then wrap up that story. Yeah, I do think he will come. I think it will eventually happen. It looks like the player's really pushing for a move. Like you said, Keg, he's turning 29. He's 12 months left. One's Champions League. Brentford, they're obviously reluctant to sell. They've lost enough players as it is. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to want to keep him happy. If they do force him to stay, he's not going to sign a new deal. And next year, you lose him for zero. Yeah. So I think he'll leave, and I think he will come, and I think it'll be a very good replacement for Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wilson joined West Ham on that one. What do you think of that?
He loves to go against them.
Great move for him.
If he can score for them, then class. I am happy for them, though.
Really hating it. I've seen Dan from West Ham Fan TV on the over up this morning, and I also seen Nicky from West Ham Fan TV during the week really not liking the move because they don't like him because he scored so many goals against them.
Well,
and he's took the piss out of them a little bit. It was what they were saying, on his podcast with Antonio, just tongue in cheek.
Probably. It is. It's just banter with Antonio. if you was playing for any other team, the banter would have gone against them.
Aye,
It's just
true.
mates,
Doesn't
just
take
mates
it
having a bit of
personal.
banter, isn't it?
He was taking the mick out the Conference League win and all that, which obviously West Ham fans love. But Callum Wilson was saying it's a Tim Pot trophy and all that. But it's not. He's not. I think you're right. I don't think Wilson was saying it to West Ham fans.
Nah,
he was just saying it to Antonio, just to wind him up, get under his skin.
Yeah.
But
I'm happy for him, though, to be fair, for staying in the Premier League.
Moves.
Good team like West Ham, solid team. Yeah, like I thought he'd have maybe gone to like MLS or somewhere.
Wrexham or something if he was lucky.
Yeah, like see out his career at a team like that, like with a brand exposure of Wrexham or money in the MLS or something like that. Like he's been linked to a couple of clubs like Charlotte. But yeah, West Ham, Premier League, cracking. Wasn't for him. I just hope he can stay fit and score goals. Like that's the thing. And I get why West Ham fans would be frustrated. It's not a sexy signing.
Yeah.
33-year-old injury-prone striker. Not really what you want. It's not a big, sexy signing, but could be a really shrewd one if he stays fit. Because when he can score goals, I said I wouldn't mind him staying for another year, which would have fucking helped us out a little bit. To be fair, like if we had another striker just to kind of ease things out a little bit, I wouldn't mind. But it is just these injuries, and that's why I think even our fans have wanted him out for the past, I'd say, 2 years, just because he can't stay fit. But when he's on the field, he can score goals. He's experienced and whatnot, and he's one of the leaders in the dressing room. So I think it's a good free signing for West Ham.
I've got a feeling he might stay a lot fitter next season because have you seen his contract?
No, I'm
pay as you play. So he's on £6,000 a week.
Whoa.
Big drop off that.
He's on about 90, wasn't he? 80, 90?
But if he makes an appearance, so even if he comes off the bench,
Andy Carroll was on the same
for a minute, he gets 90 grand on top of that.
Fuck off.
So he'd be on 96 grand a week if he plays.
No way. What?
That's why West Ham fans aren't too happy. Let me know in the chat if you're a
Carroll had that with us, didn't he? That was what Andy Carroll had for us.
It was like 10 grand, but if he played it with 60 grand or something.
Whoa, even a minute. Because Carroll did get some like late appearances, like 86th minute sub appearances. Like, all right,
probably absolutely buzzing on you sitting on the bench, thinking, I'm a little bit skint this week. Skint, 10 grand a week. Could do the holiday next week, could do the new car. Right, Andy warming up, gets in there.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that.
So Wilson's on some big bucks if he can get off the bench and score a goal, which I think he will be used if he's there and they need a goal. I've got a feeling he'll be making sure. I
was going to say, has he got any goal bonuses? But surely he can't be getting any more bonuses than that.
Imagine.
Just an appearance, just a minute a week.
Get more than Isak. He's got goal bonuses.
Imagine that. That'd be kind of funny.
He'd be on the phone with him. Yeah, Alex.
She made this week.
I'll be 125, me. You bum. Big up to KKCR for their second super chat of the show. I wonder if there is an agenda from the top six. Whichever we bid for, they intercept to prevent us from getting stronger. I've seen this theory online, and there definitely is an agenda, and that's the way it has been for Newcastle for a while, and it's true. It seems like they're in cahoot to stop Newcastle from getting stronger, because if Newcastle do go for a player like a Sesko, where they think bit of a threat, that isn't he? Good young striker in Europe, could bang in some goals. Someone else want to step in and replace him? Yep, go on then. Someone will look at our targets, like I said, copy the Mr. Bean homework and try and take them off us to stop us climbing the table once more. So I feel like there is some truth in that, to be fair.
Yeah, of course there is. Always has been, always will be, as far as I'm concerned. These big six have a power, and the Premier League's the one behind it. The Premier League's pushing that agenda. So yeah,
you see that overall spending so far in the Premier League this summer, and guess who's in the top six? The top six clubs. Who'd have thought that? Like the teams who spent the most this summer, it was all like the top six clubs. Like Tottenham sixth, and then Liverpool top, or whoever it is. Like it's all the traditional big six, shall we call them?
Of course it is.
Or the big spenders.
Easily done, because they got that money.
Yeah.
I get they've got like brand exposure and stuff like the bigger clubs technically, but where they are, like Man United, for example. Like I know I'd say Tottenham as well, but at least Tottenham have got Champions League despite finishing one place above the relegation zone.
17.
Or in the Champions League, which is mad. But yeah, Man United, it's like, I just don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Apart from Sunderland, though, who are one of the big spenders this year as well.
It's smashing it.
135 million.
Keep going. The lad on loan from Chelsea now, that's a good signing.
Gay, I don't know, Gay, or whatever you pronounce it.
That's why I didn't want to say it. No, I was going to say Gay, but it's not that. Guehi, yeah.
Guehi, I think you're right on that one.
One of them.
But they've made plenty of signings, Sunderland. Mackham's trying to say, Wayne Wupp, after we're not doing much.
Fair play. I get it. I'd be doing the same.
Granite Jack Jolinton's going to be spicy in the derby, isn't it?
Oh, God, I can't wait.
I still stick by it, though. I haven't heard of half the players that Sunderland are saying. Like,
No, I haven't either, to be honest.
but lately, did better ones, but they needed it, to be fair. The team that got promoted in that playoff final was worth less than 10 million quid. The whole team was starting 11.
I feel like not even trying to come from like a bias and rivalry standpoint, that team's fucking awful. And like they weren't even good. Like they lost each of their last 6 games or something like that in the league. Just about fluke. They almost pissed it up the wall. They had to score stoppage time goals in each of their playoff games, including the final. They've lost Bellingham. And they just weren't a good team. I feel like they'd be one of like the worst teams in Premier League history if they didn't spend money.
They would have been nice.
But to be fair, yeah, like they're putting the money out there. They're buying some players. Some of them you don't know their names, but they're spending good money on them. So you'd fancy them to be Arit, experienced leader like Granit Xhaka, a good, like exciting young'un like the lad from Chelsea. So fair play to them. They're doing what they can to stay in the league.
They're going for it. RT Unboxed, Samu from Porto, Calamuendo and Pavlidis from Benfica.
Never heard of any one of them.
I see a lot of people bigging up Samu from Porto. He is a good straight guy. He does look like a great prospect, bit of a unit and that, good goal scorer. So that could be another option after, Sesko rejection, definitely. I've never heard of Calamuendo, to be honest with you, and Pavlidis would be a top signing as well. He's been touted around the big clubs in Europe. It's looking like they want a lot of money for him, but yeah, I agree. I would definitely take Samu and Pav from Benfica.
Take your word for it.
Darren Mack just sends in a couple of quid. Big up Darren for that one. No question, no text, but he's sending some love to the show, so thanks for that one, pal.
Yes, Darren.
And last one so far, Seattle Geordie. Do you think Howe does not want foreign signings? I suppose he just tried to sign a Slovenian in Sesko, and Swedish Alanga.
And Ekatike.
Aye.
And Chow.
I know there is talks, a lot of and Chow, which we still need to talk about. There is talks at Howe likes it. He tried to sign Trafford, now he's at Ramsdale. He's tried to sign Delap and stuff. But yeah, I think you look at our team, it does have a lot of foreigners in it, and he has tried to sign foreigners this summer. So I won't, you can't say that because the proof's in the pudding. He does and has tried to sign foreign players. But yeah, there is obviously the joke that, he loves the English players more. We're trying to assemble the back line of England's team, really, aren't we? If you see Ramsdale made the World Cup squad, even if he didn't, Nick Pope, you got Tino, you got Ho, you got Byrne. He's been obviously tracking Mark Gahey.
Yeah.
So there is some truth in it, but
I get it though, to be fair. Like you get like players that they're going to integrate easier. Like with some foreign players that you don't really know how it's going to be. Like the best, most physical, competitive league in the world. Like, yeah, like some foreigners or can be a little bit questionable. Like some like world-class players have came to the Premier League for like, Man United and Chelsea and stuff and absolutely flopped. So yeah, like I get it. Like there's no wrong with having an English team. Like just as long as the players are good enough, that's the main thing. But you got like your Barnes, Gordon, Murphy up front. You got Willock. We had Longstaff. Like, yeah, we've got like a lot of English players, but that's not wrong with that.
No, not wrong at all. And one of the players that has been linked today to Newcastle United, reports from Sky Germany that a bid was made, reports from the UK that isn't the case. But then Sky Germany coming out tonight again and saying that personal terms have been agreed with Malik Chow of AC Milan.
English international.
German.
Oh, right.
In fact, 3 appearances for Germany. So he's in the mix once again, Kate. We've talked about him
linked last year
a few times on the show, haven't we? And you're right. He has been linked. He has been on the shortlist. Eddie Howe's been an admirer of him. It's a 30 million approach. Look, see, Sky Germany was saying 30 million euro bid was submitted, 26 million pounds. But they're saying they're holding out for more than 30 million pounds. So Newcastle going to have to up their bid if that was the case. But there's also reports saying that Milan don't want to sell him. And Inzaghi doesn't want to lose him. So is this going to be another big fat place to say?
It seems to be like that. But yeah, like we were looking at reports like before we came on here that saying like terms have been agreed. Like I don't believe that. Like I feel like the transfer fees is a little bit too short. Like not like us to like undersell transfer fees are now like because usually we're bang on. But yeah, this does feel like one of them that is like a little bit too undersold, and also from a team that has came out and said that they don't want to sell them. Like Maximiliano Allegri came out and said like he's had a really good pre-season and he's doing well and like they see a future in him, so they don't want to sell him. So like for like a young talent, that kind of bid I feel like is a bit of a piss take.
It is the low ball again.
Yeah, it is a massive low ball. Yeah, so I don't feel like we're going to get it done for that if we're going to be real about it, if we actually do want them. But we're just going to have to do this to everyone that we have a bid for. We're just going to have to say, yeah, how much do you want?
Yeah, man.
Because we're just absolutely underselling everyone. So yeah, like I feel like this bid is far too low. Maybe we can just go to AC Milan and be like, mate, how much do you want? Time is running out. we've got all that targets. We're going to do 4 signings to make in the next 4 weeks. What do you want?
Yeah.
Like, let me just get this done now.
What can we get? What kind of range we're talking here? And can this be done? If not,
we'll see you later.
Is this the fucking German Gehi? What is it? I can see this dragging on for the next 2 weeks, and we'll do now and sign anybody.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. But Chow's linked. Is he good enough for you?
To be honest, I haven't really seen a lot of him. Can't really say that I know too much about his game, but I know about his reputation. Obviously, we covered him this time last year. Like when we're looking at Gehi alternates, when this was dragging out for fucking 10 weeks at a time. Jesus, man. Like, I'm sure we'd done this. I remember we were sat over there and we had like a list of like 5 centre-backs maybe, and he was one of them. Yeah, so, yeah, supposedly.
We had Eddie Howe's list. I got it.
Good, stick it out. Good young centre-back. I was looking at him last night. He's about 6'4". He's a big lad, young. So if we can get a deal done for less than 40 million, I'd say it's a good signing. Like he's one of these prospects. He's young. That's what I was saying that we wanted. We don't really want like 28, 29, 30-year-olds. He's just a young lad, big, tall, physical lad, right side centre back who can help back up / replace eventually Fabian Schär. And it's just depth. That's what we need. Like he's obviously better than Jamal Lascelles, isn't he? So like, yeah, it's good enough for me as long as we can get a good deal done.
Yeah, I like Chow. I think it'll be promising. I like that his age range and what we could do with him. And you know, like I said, a few appearances for Germany. He's versatile. He can play right back as well and DM. So I think it'll be a good signing, a much needed signing. An area where we definitely need to add some depth. So I'm a fan of it, but stop lowballing and just get something done. Next super chat. B. Belmont. Sesko went to Man U for an easy payday and 1 game a week.
True.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could have came to Newcastle, played Champions League, being the main man. And said he's went to...
More money for less games.
Yeah, more money, less work. Everyone thinks the crap anyway, so probably less pressure. It used to be pressure playing for Man U, but all he's competing against is Rasmus Højlund. So I would look good against Rasmus Højlund. So, you know... I think he'll have an hard time standing out there. I really hope he flops, me. Really hope he flops. Everyone else has went to Man U in the past decade.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Hugo. What I'm eating UK. Would Amanda have got one of these transfers done?
Probably. At least one of them.
At least one of them. At least one of them.
About 16 targets. I'm sure she would have get one of them.
Wouldn't have had 9-10 rejections, I think. I should be able to at least make more than one phone call every fucking 7 days. Bloody hell.
You'd like to think so, certainly.
Are we like running out of data or something? Now we're trying to ring like Leipzig to like get the Sesko deal done.
Like, we're gonna do a tunnel.
We're putting a bid in. Oh,
it's happened again.
I have to wait till next week now. I've got any data left. Ran out of minutes.
Ran out at the end of the month and my new contract comes out.
Need a top up, yeah. So if Chow doesn't happen, it could be another centre back, might even be 2 of them, and we are like rewinding the year here, okay? Because the reports the other night from the Times, was it? Linking us once again with Gehi.
Oh,
we're not going to spend long on this one. Bloody hell, the amount of times we've talked about Gehi. But 1 year left. Liverpool have obviously been trying to sign him.
Is this his last year?
Is it 1 year or 2 year? 2 years, is it?
2.
Is it 2? Aye. 2 year left or 1 year left, whatever it is. Not long left for Palace. So not long left for them to get a big fee. Trying to get like 40 million for a centre back there with, you know, time ticking on his contract. Is that feasible then? Trying to get 40 million, 50 million for him? Or can you see him staying? And maybe this is one where clubs are just going to wait until his deal expires. And maybe even Gay's sitting there now thinking,
from going back to Chelsea.
Parish isn't letting us go.
If he's a free transfer, he's going to Chelsea.
I'll wait until I get a big sign-on bonus myself, and I'll just wait. It is 1 year. I thought because it was 2 years last year, right? It's 1 year, right? And they want, that's a Liverpool fan there as well, saying they want 50 million and it's putting us off. So Yeah, I think that's a big ask for someone with 12 months left on his deal, like, isn't it?
It is, and this is ringing a bell from the conversation that we had this time last year. Like, you knew that, like, with 2 years left on his deal, unless you're going to get his contract done, I'm pretty sure I actually said this. This is actually ringing a bell now. I said this last year. You're going to need to get this deal done within the next 12 months because next year he's going to have 1 year left on his deal, and you're going to have to accept about half of that. Like, we offered, what was it, nearly 70 million, something like that? Like,
Yeah, close to 70 in the end. Panic stations.
Like, it's kind of like that Brentford and Wissa situation. Like, you're being a little silly here. Like, you're not really thinking too logically about this. We're giving you a really, really good offer for a player that you don't want to sell. So I get it. I'm with you. But you're going to have to get a contract signed. That you're going to have to make sure that he stays because you're going to have to either sell him for maybe his half price next year or he's going to go walk for free the year afterwards. And now we're 12 months down the line. He hasn't signed a new contract. So, yeah, that being a little, like, maybe 40 million, like, maybe that's a little bit more realistic. And you know that we've identified him. Like, you know that he was our top target last year. And you know that Eddie Howe is a little bit stubborn with some of the targets that he does identify. Like, you'll go back after them, like, year in, year out, like he has done with Ekitike. So if he is available, and I think the distraction from Gahey left quite early because I think as soon as the window opened again, it was like, right, we're going to get Gahey. But then it seemed like he was going to go to Liverpool. So that's when the talk all died down, and then we were looking at other targets. But Liverpool's been trying to sign every striker that we've ever been linked with in history. So now that they're not signing him, it's like, oh, Gahey's still available, and he's still got 1 year left on his deal at Palace. So, remember him? Oh, yeah, we'll just go back in for him. So I can see we're going back in for him, and it makes sense because, like I say, like Eddie Howe does like his target. Yeah, but if Palace are still going to be daft with 1 year left on his deal and try and demand 50, then you're going to lose him for free next year. And he's going to sign for free to Chelsea. So yeah, maybe he's getting in with about a £40 million offer. I think I'd be quite happy to sign him for £40 million. If they're going to try and get any more, then fuck you, we're going to sign Chow.
Yeah, because I know it's a lot because he's only got 12 months left, but he is still in England international. He is still a great age, and 40 million, considering he is probably worth 60, 70. I mean, bloody hell, Harry Maguire went for 80 million many years ago, so he's definitely worth half of that. I would like to go back in. I would like to get it done. I think he would fit in perfectly for us. And he'd be a good leader, and it would be a big boost. That sort of signing.
Goals forward.
He does. To be fair, aye, he definitely does. So we'll see what happens with Gahey. But no doubt, he'll probably end up at Liverpool. Just more stuff coming out on the Isak thing now. He's left the training ground, Keg. Like Ben Jacobs saying, Newcastle United accept that he has to go or extend. There is no middle ground. So he's either going to have to sign a new deal with that release clause or he's going to have to go. But he isn't going to have to go because his knee replacement came in. So he's not going anyway until someone comes in for him.
And someone's going to have to pay the money that we want.
Yeah, exactly. That bid's going to have to be right. I just retweeted something here from Transfer Checker. It's just, what we've said and what a lot of people, it's good to see other fans saying it. The rules around spending in football need a rethink. Manchester United are in financial turmoil, no Champions League football, but can drop 180 million plus on Sesko and Baleba after already spending big money. Newcastle, the richest club in the world, got Champions League football and are being out-muscled.
Yeah.
Well said.
Mental.
Very true.
Absolutely
very
bonkers.
Crazy. Couple of things to touch on before we leave. We'll try and quickly go through potential Isak replacements after Sesko rejected Newcastle. It looks like he's going to Old Trafford. Just to give a shout out to a couple of Newcastlers that have left or look like they are leaving the club. First of all, Isaac Hayden left the other day. I think the club ended his contract early. I'll never forget Hayden's late win against Chelsea when me and you were watching in the Leeds stand, one of the worst games of football ever. And he's a great servant at the club, Isaac Hayden.
Yeah, he really was. Like, I've got two great memories of Isaac Hayden that'll always live with us. One of them was that winner against Chelsea, because I remember being with you in the Leeds end. I'm sure he scored the winner in the Gallagher. It was an awful, awful game, obviously under Steve Bruce, like every game was awful. But yeah, it was coming to about the 89th, 90th minute. Chelsea dominated, but they were just a bit shit up front. Like, they couldn't really score. Like, I think Tammy Abraham played that game, and like they just weren't really clinical in the final third, but absolutely dominated the game. Should have beat with 5-6-0. I remember it coming like into the final minutes, and I remember turning to you and just having a bit of a giggle and going, we're going to get a point out of this.
What wasn't with a point?
Right? I was like, we do not deserve a point out of this. We've been shocking. And then a few minutes later, balls deep into stoppage time, Isaac Hayden gets the winner. And that actually was on the weekend before Lejeune's goals against Everton, where we were at that as well. So in the space of about 4 or 5 days, we picked up 4 points that we did not deserve a single one of, which was mad. So yeah, that's a good memory of Hayden. But my favourite one is when we were at Fulham. The last game of the season must have been 18-19 season, which happened to be Rafa's last game and Rondon's last game, Mo Diame's last game, Jose Perez's last game. But that was the year that earlier in the season, Hayden said that he wanted out. I think it was just more, he just kind of wasn't happy up north, wanted to be back down south with his family, he wanted to go back to London. Nothing against Newcastle, but just kind of for personal reasons, wanted to move. Didn't get the move. Then second game of the season, got a silly red card off the bench against Cardiff. So then he became public enemy number 1. Couldn't get a game for love nor money. He was rotting away with the reserves. But then at the time Sean Longstaff came through, I think Diame was injured. Shelvey was injured. I think we had Key. Key was at some international tournament or something like that. So there was that's why Sean Longstaff got his break. We had to play Hayden because he was our only senior midfielder. Longstaff came up from the academy, and then them two worked together so well. Like everyone got back with Isaac Hayden because he was a grafter, really, really hard worker. Him and Longstaff were unbelievable together for a stretch until like Shelvey and that came back. So yeah, last game of the season, he'd won everyone over. I'm sure he started a right back that game for some reason. I have no idea why. But yeah, he got subbed off. He was walking towards the dugout, and the whole away end were chatting there's only one Isaac Hayden. And I'd had a few drinks by that point. I was getting emotional. Like, it was a really emotional moment because he was looking at us, waving, I think, like clapping us off. Like, I think he was getting a bit emotional as well. Like, I was really upset by it. Yeah. I was like, I've really come to like you now, and like this goodbye is mad. And just so happens that 7 years later, he's still here. The one person we expected to leave that summer, he was still here 7 years later, and everyone else left, and we didn't expect that. But yeah, so they're my favourite Isaac Hayden moments. So yeah, he was a good grafter when he played. He was a fan favourite in the end. Yeah, I do like Isaac Hayden. So yeah, but yeah, best of luck to him in his future.
Definitely. Well said. And on that as well, I remember Mitro waving to the Newcastle fans, giving him
banter,
a stick.
Yeah, because we were bantering him.
Yeah.
Again, it was just banter. We weren't giving him a stick, but we're giving him some abuse, and then he was giving word back. It was good banter that day.
Another player that's been with Isaac Hayden over the years and has been with Newcastle for many years now is Martin Dubravka. And the goalkeeper looks set to join Burnley. He's off there. Burnley trying to make a few signs the last few days. Scott Parker signing Martin Dubravka as their goalkeeper to replace James Trafford. So, again, with Dubravka, very good servant Newcastle, apart from that little spell at Man United. But he took off there for a little bit. But, he came back. He was very good last year for us. Stepped in when Pope got injured and did a great job. And, he's a lovely bloke as well. Speaking to him again after the final. And he was on the first players that we interviewed, to be fair, on the channel, wasn't he? Martin Dubravka, when he first signed, and he got off to a fly, and he was a real bargain. And listen, he was a top player for us over many years. I think some people didn't like that move to Man United, would get that, but at the end of the day, he came back, represented us. Yeah, I'm all right with that now.
After we signed Pope, he's not going to get minutes. So
exactly,
I got it.
He's came in. He's always done well for us, and he's been a decent keeper and a great bargain, great sign, to be fair. So all the best to Dubravka down there in Burnley. Did I see a super chat there? I think it might have just been someone becoming a member. Big up to Glenn, who's became a member. We did announce the giveaway winner at the start of the show for the 24-pack of War Beer. So stay tuned, members. We will be giving away a kit of your choice next week. So we'll be picking a member to win any top that they choose, whether that be the pink or yellow keeper top, the green away top, or whatever it is you would like. You can choose. We'll talk briefly Seller Cup in a minute, but let's just try and rattle through the Isak replacements. Okay, we don't need to go into it in depth because we've been going for an hour and a half. But thanks to everyone for tuning in so far. It's been a great show, and the super chats have really helped us along on this one. But with Isak's replacement and no Sesko now, let's go through 3 or 4 main names. And people in the chat are saying Louis Openda. from Leipzig, Sesko's strike partner.
Well, that's not going to happen, is it?
And they're not going to let him go. Nah.
Can't see that happen. What would be the point in that?
Exactly. Leipzig
Are like Wissa again.
Leipzig are doing a bloody Brentford. They're selling everyone. Simmons to Chelsea. They're trying to get Harvey Elliott to replace him. Obviously, Sesko to Man U. Append has been linked. Apparently, Sunderland were trying to sign him last week. That quickly got rebuffed. It's me scam there. But Appenda, I'd be very happy with that. But I agree with you. I think that would be a difficult one to do.
Yeah, they're not going to lose two of their top strikers.
Leipzig don't need the money as well, so they're probably going to demand a big fee.
Especially like this, like late into the window. Like if Sesko went immediately, like when the window opened, like with Mbumo, like Mbumo left quite early. It was like a very early signing for Man United, so let's give Brentford a little bit of time to kind of sort his replacement out and do something with Wissa. But if Sesko leaves this weekend with 3-4 weeks after the window, it puts Leipzig in a bit of a dodgy situation. So they're not going to let another striker go. Doesn't make sense.
Nah, it doesn't. We talked about Gonzalo Ramos, who's linked. We talked about him earlier in the show, so you can go back and listen to that if you haven't already. Let's talk about the last two that are being heavily rumoured. Starting off with Ollie Watkins of Aston Villa. We did talk about him briefly as well, to be fair, because of his age and stuff. But would that be a suitable replacement for Alexander Isak?
I like it. It's not everyone's taste, but for me, like, he's one of these that's a little bit older, as I was mentioning before. Like you want your kind of late teens, early 20s type players who you're going to grow with and get a good 10 years use out of. And then if something happened, if they develop, then you can sell them for good money and that's business. Someone with Watkins' age isn't ideal. And it all comes down to transfer fee because you know that Villa hold him in high regard. They sold Duran in January. And I'm sure they rejected, wasn't it like 80 million or something from Arsenal? Like, were Arsenal not offering like mad money
crazy
like, not
money
too long ago?
January, 60 million, 70 million.
I don't know what he'd be worth.
I think 150.
See, he's getting double figures, I think, for the last like 3-4 years in a row. Like he's reliable for a goal. He's got important goals for England now as well. But
I really like it. Yeah. I see people and I know they're saying, he's 29 and stuff. It doesn't bother me. Like, you're going to get at least 3 years out of him. He's proven in the Premier League. He knows where the back of the net is. If we sign Watkins out of the weekend and then he played against Villa next week, he's scoring. He scores most weeks. He scores.
He's reliable.
He's reliable. He's consistent.
Proven.
He's fit.
Experienced.
Yeah, I really like it. People are complaining because he's now 29. Like,
it's just what I've said before about Wissa. Like, if you get 3 good years out of him, you're not going to get much in return. But like, as long as he makes that contribution, if he's getting 20 goals a season, I'm not really asked. Like,
if he gets you at the later stage of the Champions League, if he wins you another trophy, if he gets you top 4 for
it's worth
the 2-3 years that he's here,
that's what you pay your money for.
It's worth every penny.
It's not necessarily about the return. It's just what you get out of it.
You want resale value on certain players, but what you should do, bring in Wissa, bring in Watkins, then next summer you bring in the young player and then replace them in 18 months' time. 2 years' time. Start bleeding them out a little bit. Watkins starts coming off the bench. The new lad starts coming in. I really like the Watkins deal, and Eddie Howe's a big fan of him. I think the lad who sent a super chat in earlier about Eddie Howe wanting British players would laugh if we're saying him, wouldn't he? That would back up his point, and I could see it. I like Watkins. Listen, it's
and Vardy.
Watkins and Vardy. Watkins and Wissa. W&W. Give me that because it's risk-free. Because Sesko, to be fair, he's an exciting young player. His goal score record isn't amazing. And he's a risk. We don't know how he's going to do in the Premier League. Yeah. These players that have come from the Bundesliga have flopped.
Yeah, they have.
Nunez has flopped. Werner was amazing.
He was unreal in the Bundesliga.
Flopped. So it's not guaranteed. What is guaranteed is Watkins scoring nearly every week. Double figures all the time. I like it. What I don't like, Keg.
What don't you like?
Nicolas Jackson. I'm ready to do that. Like, I'm ready to get out of here. Like, if Jackson signs, I will be doing that. If Jackson signs, you know, it is. I watch his goal scoring because his games ratio it isn't that bad, but I don't care because you know what it is. I've watched him with my own specs on, and he's crap.
These ones, yeah.
These very ones, yeah. I've seen it with my own eyes, and you know, even though he scored against Newcastle and stuff, I've seen him be offside. I've seen him be a bit reckless. I've seen him get sent off.
On Botman.
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, exactly. I stick the nut on Botman. I've seen him just not look like a very good footballer. His touch isn't great. His shooting isn't that great. And he's got a lot of chances. He gets a lot of chances at Chelsea. So that's why maybe it looks better. Last year was only 10 goals in the Prem and 5 assists. I think overall,
How old is he?
he's 24. So the year before that, he got 14 goals, 5 assists. That's a bit better in his breakthrough season. Not too bad, to be fair. But I'm just not a fan of what I've seen, to be honest with you. Do you feel any differently? Am I being harsh?
I feel a little bit differently, but I feel I covered it like right at the beginning.
We did talk about Jackson,
like I covered my thoughts right at the beginning. So if he comes in as number 2 cheaply, he's 24, so it's a good age. And you know what Eddie Howe's like. Eddie Howe's really good at developing players. We can get the best out of them. Chelsea obviously didn't really get the rub of the green because Chelsea. They've got about 49 strikers. Like, it's just not a great place to develop if you're at Chelsea. So coming to Newcastle at a good age could be a good move for him, but I would take him as number 2. Like, if we've got like a big name player like Sesko, for example, or Gonzalo Ramos or something like that. If Jackson came in to be like number 2 on an affordable deal, like 40 million or something like that, I feel like it's a decent fee, but Chelsea want more. So if Chelsea want 60 plus, no.
No, exactly. Because he is going to be number 1.
And if he's going to be number 1, no.
Yeah, because he is, because Wissa is the number 2. If that gets done,
no.
Jackson will be the number 1, and like you said, they want 60 odd million for him. No way, man. No way. A couple of other mentions from the chat was the likes of Muñez from Fulham, who's been linked, and Mateta from Palace. I quite like Mateta. I'm a big fan. Muñez will be okay, but again, it's a big downgrade if you're going from Alexander Isak to Rodrigo Muñez.
That's
the number 2
depths. Yeah,
with time to grow, maybe.
Yeah.
What you do is you bring it. Muñez is only 23, 24.
Well, people stop mentioning Rasmus Højlund.
Rasmus Højlund stinks, man. He's crap. If Man U don't want him and they're 15th, I don't want him.
The big, powerful Man United didn't want him.
Nah, I'm not having that. Like, I mean, Eddie Howe's great at improving players, but he's not a fucking magician. You need to bring in David Blaine if you want to get Højlund scoring 20 goals a season. Yeah, hell. I think we'll finish off on that. You don't know, to be honest, shall we?
Yep.
Anything else worth a mention? Salah Cup this weekend? We'll be there. Yeah. On Saturday, at least, anyways. Friday, I'm filming down in London, so I actually missed the Espanyol game, but I will be back for Saturday's double header against the women Atletico Madrid and then the men's Atletico Madrid. I can't wait, Kate, to see Simeone up close and personal. Him against Tyndall, because Simeone, I've been to Atletico Madrid game before. I was behind the goal, but seen him on the touchline over there going nuts. He's a character, and even though it's pre-season, this bloke doesn't know what a friendly is. He'll be going mad, but it'll be good. You know, Atletico, great team. Got some top players, so it'll be a top test for us. Really, won't it be a tough match?
Oh yeah, it will be. They are one of the top teams in the world. Like, I know they get underlooked because it's they're in the same league as like Barcelona and Real Madrid. But yeah, top team, great manager. But he's got that good reputation with Eddie Howe, though, hasn't he? Eddie Howe spent some months with him when he was unemployed.
Sabbatical.
Yeah, between his time with after Bournemouth. And Trippier's got that relationship with him as well, his former team. Yeah, it'll be fun. And we might get a look at Conor Gallagher, a little bit of a teaser, maybe.
Who's now been outplaced by Johnny McGinn. Don't want him anymore. The young English lad, now we get the Scottish veteran instead.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good test. Like Tottenham, K-League All-Stars, and what was the other one? Arsenal, yeah.
Celtic.
Yeah, AC Milan, really, really good test. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting one.
All right, it will be. I'm looking forward to that game. We'll finish off on the big, important question. Are we going to... Actually, did we even win it last year? The Select Cup? I don't think we did we?
Didn't I think so?
We definitely won it the year before. I was going to say, we're going to retain it. But I'm not sure if we won it last year.
Surely we did.
Who did we play last year? Let me know in the chat.
It was like
I had a feeling there we hadn't.
The first year was better because there was 4 teams over 2 days where you got like a point for a goal.
Yeah.
Whereas last year it was just like a one-off shootout, which really annoyed me. And it's not really like a cup if it's just between 2 teams. I really don't like that, mate. Like the Adidas Cup.
The Emirates Cup that's going on right now that I think people are seeing in the chat that Arsenal are losing 2-1 to Villarreal. So that's funny. Arteta losing games.
Aaron says we won it last year.
Who did we play? Can't remember. I
can't even remember who played.
That's what I'm looking
sure
for.
I was there, but
Girona. Asula scored the goal and was offside, wasn't it? And then we played Brest.
Yeah.
We played Brest. We did win when that white and green kit. So will we retain the Salah Cup?
Of course we will.
Probably
because it's rigged.
I don't think we will. I think Madrid are going to smash it. I think they're 2-0.
I mean,
Unless
theoretically, yeah, we should get smashed.
Nah, not smash. I think could be lose on penalties. Could be like a 1-1, 2-1, lose on pens maybe.
Depends how much the Saudi money's worth for them.
Exactly, aye. Exactly, because they're going to get sponsored or already have been sponsored, taking over. Riyadh Air and all that and the shit. Arsenal losing 3-1. Need Emirates Cup for them this year. AFTV tonight. I'm going home to watch that. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Cheers for listening. If you are listening back on all audio platforms, remember we do upload the podcast to Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you want to listen to it. You can. Right. If you can't join us live or if you're watching back on YouTube the next day or whatever, thanks again. Big up all the super chats. Loads of great ones tonight. Great crack in there. Join me on the McBite channel tomorrow, I'm sure, for daily transfer updates as it's going to be kicking off once again on Isak's future and all the other sagas. Keg, been good to see you again, pal.
You too, mate.
And you'll see us on Saturday. We'll do a vlog of the Atletico Madrid double header. So subscribe to the channel and enjoy yourself. Don't know why I did that. Don't know.
Changing it up, mate.
Going to bed. Had enough.
Something different.
See you tomorrow.